Look, I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke. We're going live.
We'll do it live.
You're listening to the premier podcast for men who want to not only be better with women, but want to be better men in general. This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
We are live on a Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Smash that like button. Hopefully me going live prevents you from having a case of the Mondays. Okay, we wouldn't want that, would we? We are going to be going through a Red Pill archive post I found on how to tell if your girl might be a former Carousel Rider and is just looking for a beta provider. You gotta watch out for those women, brother. You gotta watch out for them, right? Now some of this guy's posts you just can't take seriously, right? We're gonna get into it. Like, some of it's gonna be pretty funny. And some of it's just out just completely ridiculous, right? But it's good to know. Good to know information, some of it. What's funny too is that a lot of guys have this impression that if they just marry a girl when she's younger, that this won't be an issue. This won't be an issue at all. You just got to marry younger, just the younger, and you're not going to have this problem. That's not true either. That's not true. Okay. Like, I got married young, right? I did what the trad cons told me to do. I got married young, man. I wasn't even old enough to drink at my wedding reception, right? I was 20 years old when I got married. Now, my wife, she was older, but she was only 23. She was only a couple years older than me. But that's still pretty young, right? That's still under that magic 24-year-old that the red pill space puts out. Like, oh no, you got to get them when they're 24. That's like when they're prime and stuff. It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? She just wanted early retirement. That's all she ever wanted, was early retirement, right? Lots of chicks out there who claim they want to be stay-at-home moms. All they want is to not work. Okay. They just want to hand their kids an iPad and they can sit at home all day watching Oprah, or they could go on play dates and drinking mimosas and Bloody Marys with the other early retirees playing stay-at-home mom. Right? But they have no interest. They have no interest in being a traditional wife type person. They just want someone to pay for their lifestyle, right? A lot of these guys out there that want that kind of relationship, they're like, I want to stay at home mom. I want her to raise my kids and stuff. They have no idea what they're asking for. They have no idea. But before we get into that today, guys, do please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. We are live today, guys, so do sound off in the live chat. That'll help this go by much smoother. You guys can interact with some of this stuff. I'll bring it up on the screen if you guys have something clever to say. And please, for the love of God, don't be stingy with those super chats. That helps support the show probably more than anything else. All right, so this is the article that I found. It was written back in 2016. I'm going to drop a link to it in the chat here if you guys want to read it yourselves. By a guy named Kevin32. And it's called Signs She Might Be a Former Carousel Rider Looking for a Provider. And he starts off saying, having been married to a former Carousel Rider in my blue-pilled beta days, I thought I'd share some insight on how to identify former carousellers looking for a provider for those wanting an LTR. For you guys new to the space, LTR stands for long-term relationship. Just FYI. Considerations will also be made for men already in a relationship with such women. This is a complimentary essay to Rollo's Saving the Best. And so he links to that essay, which I'll drop a link to that too. But it was an article that, an essay that Rollo wrote based off of some other guy's story on how this guy, I think he was replying to a Reddit post. This guy was saying that when he met his wife, she was a total prude. She wouldn't do all the dirty, fun stuff in the bedroom that he wanted. You know, she held out, putting out. I'm waiting till the 8-minute mark. We can't speak freely yet, guys. But she didn't, she made the guy wait. She held out. She was a total prude in the bedroom. And he stumbled across a video of his wife back in college, just getting her back completely blown out. Right. And the guy was crushed because he's like, wait a second. You gave the best sex to these guys in college, but to me, I get this vanilla starfish crap. Right. And that happens to a lot of guys. Right. The women will settle with guys that they're really not that sexually attracted to. So they don't give those guys the hot, burning, dirty stuff because they're just not into that guy. Right. But guys that they didn't care about back in the college days, they were letting these guys use all 3 holes and they turned these girls into Twinkies and stuff. Right. This is so weird. Right. She gave the better version of her dirty self to these guys, and me, your husband, the guy you're supposed to love, the guy who's supposed to be your soulmate, you're a starfish for, right? See, that's the, and you know what? Guys do this kind of crap to themselves, though. Guys do this kind of crap to themselves. They get this, what's called the Madonna whore complex. And what that is where they see girls that are sexually promiscuous. I can't speak freely. We're not at the 8-minute mark yet, right? But they see these women that are a little more promiscuous as slooty sloots, and then these women that are holding out for them and making them wait as wifey material. And it's like, dude, the chick that's making you wait, she wasn't making Chad or Tyrone wait, bro. She's making you wait because she don't like you that much. She doesn't have genuine desire for you. So what do you want, bro? What do you want? Right? I think the whole what's it called? Madonna whore complex thing is probably like the number one killer of men. And it's guys doing it to themselves, right? It's male delusion. And women know that, you know, body count is an issue. That's why they keep stuff like that under wraps. That's why they play those games. That's why they hold out, because they want you to think that they're a good girl or whatever. But it's like, if she has genuine desire for you, she's going to throw caution to the wind. She's going to get up on that. Okay. Man, it not being at the 8-minute mark is such a handicap. So anyway, so Rollo talks about that, right? Basically, women that, in his essay, women that give the best versions of themselves in the bedroom to previous guys, but then they settle with guys and give them lackluster performance in the bedroom, right? So this is a complimentary essay to Rollo's essay on that subject. The guy continues. He says, a common scenario in blue pill beta male faces, the blue pill beta male faces, assuming he's at least average looking and has a stable career, is he meets a 30-something beauty who gives him more attention than any other women. She's very open to him, initiates often, and she's so easy to date, he doesn't have to put forth much effort for her to respond positively, because he lacks a sex life and social interaction with women in general. Meeting her is like finding an oasis in the desert. But he's unaware that the most common sexual strategy of the attractive woman is to ride a carousel of, let's say, hot dogs. We are at the 8-minute mark. Okay. Ride a carousel of cocks in the prime of her youth, and then secure a beta provider such as himself when she's post-wall. So yeah, that does happen a lot too, right? That does happen. Women, they're having their fun. They're in their college, freaky girl phases in their 20s, and then 30s coming up fast, and they're like, oh crap. And the biological clock's ticking, and all of a sudden they're like, they find Jesus, right? They all find Jesus at 30. And now they're trying to settle down. Some of these women will be somewhat promiscuous in the early phases of relationship until they get married, and then it all goes away after they put a ring on it. You guys got to understand too, though, like once you put a ring on it, right? Once you put that ring on it, she has no more competition anxiety, right? And most guys aren't continuing to do what they did in the beginning. They aren't being fun and flirtatious. They're not being social people. They're not going out and being social and talking to strangers and stuff, and being a kind of guy that their wives see as attractive anymore, right? So the women stop putting out because they don't have that competition anxiety anymore. You know, that's why marriage and long-term relationships is game on hard mode, right? But some guys do that kind of stuff to themselves. They do that stuff to themselves. Guys, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good platforms. Do get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. I will send you some free stickers. I just got these ones in the mail. The girl, I'm a bad boy stickers. I will mail those to you, but if you don't want the stickers, it's cool. Just put don't want stickers in the address field. I won't capture your address that way, and I won't waste a stamp on you. But you do get 20 dating app openers that are guaranteed to capture a woman's attention in the first 7 words, and you do get a free chapter of my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. Yes, it's a real book. It's also available on Amazon. And you can find that at books.comeonmanpod.com. It's in Kindle edition. There's paperbacks, there's hardcovers, and like I said, it's on Audible. You could get that. My friend RP Thor did the narration for me. But the big thing, guys, is my dating course. Dates.comeonmanpod.com will take you to my dating course. And for the entire month of May, I am making the course available for 50% off with code May50 at checkout. I'll drop a link to that in the chat. But what's really cool about my course, guys, is not only do I show you how to optimize your dating app profiles, because most guys don't realize this, but the reason why they're not getting matches and they're not getting quality dates is because their profiles suck, right? Dating apps don't suck. Dating apps are very effective. They're probably the most efficient way to date, if I'm going to be honest. Because when you get on a dating app, you know that there's some kind of mutual interest there, right? No one's on a dating app looking for friends. It doesn't matter what a woman says in her profile. People don't go on dating apps looking for friends. They go on there looking for dates, okay? So you know that there's mutual interest there. And then if you both match, even better, okay? So all you have to do then is learn how to close. Learn how to banter, learn how to close, and get off the app and get to the dates quickly. I talk about all that in my course. But a lot of guys, they're also burnt out on dating apps. They're sick of it. They're sick of the grind. They're sick of the bots. They're sick of the catfish. I get it. I also show you in the course how to use social media to find girls in your area and how to slide into their DMs using video messages in a way that will set you apart from 97% of the other guys out there. Let me play a commercial for that, and then we'll continue with this essay. 70% of relationships start online nowadays, but you're tired of being stuck in the dating app dead end. Swipe after swipe, and all you get is ghosted or worse, bot matches. The problem isn't you. It's that most dating apps are designed to favor the top 20% of guys. And if your profile isn't up to par, you're just another swipe left. The solution? No cold approach in the cow pasture. While the course may have a funny name, it will show you how to optimize your dating profile. It will show you how to take perfect photos and write bios that get you noticed. You'll also learn how to spot and avoid bots, catfish, and time wasters. I originally designed this course for guys who live in rural flyover country, where the opportunity to meet women organically in person just isn't possible, or your options are severely limited. But this course will work for guys in big cities too. In fact, it'll work better for guys that live in big cities because you have way more options than guys that live out in rural areas. Wherever you are, no cold approach in the cow pasture will help you meet high quality women in your area. It will help you to close for more dates than you ever thought possible. Because not only do I teach you how to optimize your online dating profile on dating apps, the real secret sauce is I show you how to meet women on Facebook and Instagram and how to slide into their DMs using a virtual cold approach method using video messages. Ready to be a part of the top 20%? Don't miss your chance. Visit dates.comeonmanpod.com. That's dates.comeonmanpod.com to sign up now. And for the entire month of May, take 50% off with code May50 at checkout. Yeah, no cold approach in the cow pasture. It's a funny name. It's actually a joke that I think I came up with it maybe 2 years ago now. And my friend Brother Kokoski from the 3% Brotherhood, he's like, you should put that on a t-shirt. Because I was talking about how out here, out in the middle of nowhere, Colorado, going out and meeting people at clubs and bars is just not happening, right? If I go to, there's 2 bars up in Cedar Edge, Colorado. If I go up there, it's always just old drunk people because it's largely a retirement community up there. If I go down to Delta, there's younger people, but a lot of there's a lot of heifers out here on the western slope of Colorado. So when you go to the bar, there's a lot of like disgusting bar hogs, just not women that you would want to meet, right? And the hot women don't seem to go out. I don't know what they're doing. They're just at home hoping for Mr. Right to break into their house or something. And so finding these women out in public is just like, it's like a needle in a haystack. You go to the grocery store, it's all just old people. And you're like, how do I meet people out here? So you have to really get good at online dating. Right. And a lot of people complain about online dating, but it's like, if you get good at it, it's very effective. So that's why my course is called that. No cold approach in the cow pasture, FYI. Anyway, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this carousel that we're talking about here. So the next section here is signs that a woman might be a former carousel rider looking for a provider. Let me know what you guys think, right? If you guys, there's 37 people watching right now. There should be at least 37 likes on this video. But let me know what you guys think about any one of these. Okay. Some of these are like not necessarily, come on, like some of these are funny. Okay. So signs that she might be a former carousel rider looking for a provider. She's a 7 or higher in looks. So if she's attractive at all, she was probably a carousel rider, is what this guy says. Like, so what are you supposed to just date ugly women? Like, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? Like some of these guys in the red pill space just crack me up. It's like, what do you want, bro? What do you want? If she's a 7 or higher in looks, she's probably a carousel rider. She's around 30 years of age or older. Okay. All right. You guys think that if she's over 30, she was a carousel rider? Let me put this to you though. Let me put this scenario to you. Okay. Because a lot of guys think that too. Like if she's over 30, she automatically has at least a 50 plus body count. Let me put this scenario to you. Okay. What if she made a poor judgment in high school? Okay. She got knocked up in high school with like the first guy that she ever slept with, the guy that she lost her virginity to, condom broke or something. And she got knocked up in high school. Okay. And then like right after high school, like 18 years old, they got married. Right. And then they got married and maybe they had a couple more kids and they got divorced like right after she turned 30, maybe 30, 31. She's only been with the one guy, her husband, the entire time. And they just somehow split apart. Now she's a single mom, sure, which is also problematic for the red pill space. But she's only got a body count of 1. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's possible, or that's a fairy tale these days? Let me know what you guys think. You guys ever think this through? Like this, that's sometimes that happens. That kind of shit happens a lot on the western slope of Colorado. A lot of teenage girls get knocked up out of high school and they get married right after high school, and then a lot of these chicks are serial monogamists. So even if they're married to their high school crush and they get divorced like in their mid-20s, they immediately just get into their next relationship, and it's like they might have a body count of like less than 5 by the time they hit their 30s, you know? You guys, you can't just automatically assume this stuff, right? And also, you can't ask a woman what her body count is. I mean, you can, but she's never going to be honest with you about it. So you really just got to watch her actions, you know, because her actions will tell you everything you need to know. Okay. But some of this stuff, like she's a 7 or higher in looks, she's around 30 years of age, she's automatically a carousel rider. Like, stop. Okay. Just stop, guys. She shows signs of slutty behavior. The major ones are she has visible tattoos, dyed hair, and unusual piercings. She's on birth control. She likes talking about sex and reacts positively to sexual innuendos. She has daddy issues, and she has the 1,000-cock stare, guys. I hear guys at beer club talk about that. Like, look at this. She's got that 1,000-cock stare. How do you fucking know? Like, stop it. Just from one picture, you think she's got a 1,000-cock stare? Just stop. Daddy issues 100% though. Daddy issues 100%. Oh man, she's on birth control. You mean she's trying to be responsible? Is that what you're saying? She's trying. I know that birth control messes with women's minds, but what would you rather a chick do? You know, like some of you guys, I swear to God, have unrealistic expectations. You know, we talk about women being delusional in the space. You're fucking delusional if you think that a woman's not going to be on birth control who doesn't want to be pregnant, you know? Like, yeah, like what's a better option for her? What's a better option? Like if she wants to take control of her birth control, and she wants to be responsible, she doesn't want to have to rely on your condom that's been in your wallet for 6 months getting dry rot. What is she supposed to do? You guys, come on. I love this one. She attended college. She's an educated woman. That automatically means she's a slut, right? What if she went to like University of Phoenix? What? You ever think about that? So let me ask you guys this. You go on a date with a chick and you find out that she's college educated. That's it. I can't have no educated woman. She's clearly a cock rider, right? Some of these are funny, man. Let's see here. Oh, E. Jones says she carried her own pack of condoms in her purse. That's a sign. Okay. Brother Larry says it's definitely the stare. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Nathan says, I see it in Oklahoma. She gets married young and then a couple guys in divorce. Easy for her to have only 4 or 5 bodies. Yeah. Pretty easy, but still it's not like this 50 plus body count that some of these guys think is happening all the time. It's not as, I don't think women with like super high body counts like that is as prevalent as some of these guys think. I don't think that's true. Paul, that's blue pill thinking. They're all whores. Oh man. The next one is she's a single mom with some of the other traits listed here. Single moms. Am I right? She asks, where have all the good men gone? She says she's tired of the games, or she's tired of the jerks and players trying to get into her pants. And she wants a mature man for a serious relationship. We've all seen that one, right? We've all seen that one on the dating apps. The chick she's tired of the games and she's ready to settle down. Here's the thing about women. They love playing games. They fucking love playing games. They love the game. They just don't want to know they're playing the game. And they want you to play the game with them. But I don't want to play games. Fuck that. Fuck that, Paul. I'm tired of the games too. Are you, bro? Are you ready to settle down? She's a tryhard. She actively pursues you, calling you often. This one's dumb. Okay, guys. She's a tryhard. She actively pursues you, calling you often, wanting to be with you, laughing at your jokes that aren't that funny. If she knows where you live, she comes by unannounced. If she hasn't seen or heard from you in a few days, that one's kind of questionable. And keenly aware as a prostitute that men love sex. Is that a mystery, guys? Is that something that women aren't keenly aware of? Like, guys have been trying to bang them since they're 13. Are you serious? They fucking know we want sex. Come on. She makes herself easy to get in bed. The key here is that she puts forth most of the effort, with you doing little in return. Be sure to verify other carousel signs to distinguish between a woman who's genuinely attracted to you and a woman who just wants provision. Guys, if she's actively pursuing you, wouldn't you think that she was fucking into you? Like, what is your problem? Why is that an issue? Most guys are like, they don't like the mind games and stuff like that. A woman who's into you makes things easy for you. They will open doors for you. And then you guys look at that and go, oh, that's a red flag that she likes me? Fuck off. Some of you guys. The next one here is she feels the need to confess her sexual history to you. That would be a red flag. That would be weird. That would be weird because women don't do that. Women have a proclivity for reputation protection. So for them to confess something like that, what's there to gain? What's there to gain from that? That makes no sense. That would be a huge red flag. Sometimes the confession is out of the blue, sort of like I need to get something off my chest to give her plausible deniability in case you hold it against her in the future. She confesses her slutty behavior to you. Let's see. She confessed her slutty behavior and you stayed anyway. Other times it's her need to reminisce the good old days, but a good way to get her to open up about her past is to talk about your sexual past as if it was no big deal. Public places you've had sex, kinky things you've done, how fun it was, etc. Guys, have you guys read The Rational Male? Have you guys read that? Have you guys fucking read that? There's an iron rule of Tomasi that talks about how never reveal your body count under penalty of death. That's one of the 9 iron rules. Like, you don't need to be bringing up your fucking sexual past. Guys, fucking wow. Don't do that. Don't do that. If she feels you won't judge her, former Carousel Riders light up at the opportunity to talk about who and what they've done. Now she generally won't reveal her sexual history while you're dating and she's attempting to marry you, but she'll be more open about it after marriage when she has legal access to your resources. Just don't fall for the "I've only known one man who was my boyfriend" line. I agree with that. Like, there's almost never just one, you know? I mean, it's like, as you get to know these chicks, like they talk about stories and you can piece things together. You can sort of make certain assumptions, you know what I mean? But you never have to ask. Their actions will tell you everything you need to know. You know what I mean? But you got to be careful of that Madonna whore complex thing, right? You guys, that's going to really prevent you from, enjoying life. It really will. She will guilt trip you into marriage within months of a relationship. When you first start dating and tell her upfront that you're not interested in marriage, she will be okay with the idea initially, but after some time, she'll say things like, "My parents don't like the idea of us being together for so long unmarried," or "It's against my religion, personal beliefs for us to have sex unmarried," or "I feel like I'm being used and don't want to play games. I just want someone who's serious," or "My biological clock is ticking," or "Don't you love me?" You know what? An outstanding book. I mentioned it on the podcast numerous times. It's one of the Married Red Pill sidebar required reading books that you guys really, it behooves you to read it and apply the information. Is When I Say No, I Feel Guilty. Right? Because shit like this is manipulation. Oh, but women, you're teaching men to manipulate women. Women invented this shit. Women invented manipulation, right? All that kind of guilt trip shit is manipulation. Women are very good at it. And if you read When I Say No, I Feel Guilty, you learn how to deal with that sort of thing. You learn how to set boundaries, how to speak assertively, and how to say no and not feel fucking guilty, right? So, yeah, her biological clock's ticking and her parents don't like it and da 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 da. She's either on your program or she's not. Okay? If you don't want to get married, if you don't want to get the state involved in your relationship, don't let someone guilt you into it, right? If someone guilts you into it, that's your fault, bro. That's your fault. Learn how to be assertive, okay? And also learn to be willing to walk away at any given moment. And also learn to be okay with her walking away at any given moment. All right? You got to learn how to be lovingly detached. All right? You're going to have a much happier life and a much stronger frame. She doesn't enjoy the role of housekeeper. She doesn't like to cook or clean and isn't very good at it. She lived such a hedonistic lifestyle in her prime with friend zone betas at her beck and call that being of service to someone other than herself is unappealing. She'd rather lay around watching TV all day. That's most women these days that are looking to be a stay-at-home mom. That's what I'm talking about, because a lot of modern women aren't taught to be traditional, how to cook, how to clean, how to do that kind of stuff. They get fucking DoorDash. They live like their houses are messes and all that kind of shit. It's like, if you go to a girl's house and it's a complete pigsty and her car's a pigsty all the time, she doesn't know how to cook you dinner, and she's not for you, bro. She's not for you. She's not for you, bro. She's closed off in the bedroom. When you first start dating, she's easy to have sex with, and many times she'll initiate to get you hooked. But after marriage, she shuts down. She's sexually prudish and not as enthusiastic in bed as she once was. And she feels more like, and sex feels more like a chore and stress relief than something fun. That's very common to a lot of guys, right? They, Nurse Chick calls it, she says she has friends like this, right? She says they're bobbing for diamonds. They're bobbing for diamonds, right? Like they'll do all the hot blowjob stuff until you put a ring on it. And then they're like, I don't have to do that anymore. I got married, right? They hooked you. It's like, you got to be careful of that, but also you got to realize that if you don't keep doing what you did to attract her in the first place, like I said in the beginning, if you're not a social person, if you don't go out and do fun stuff, things that introduce a little bit of competition anxiety, even when you're in an LTR, she's going to realize she doesn't have any competition. She doesn't have to fucking try. Yeah. So AJ, yes, I did watch Backlash, brother. I did. And I thought it was okay. I don't like the international pay-per-views because they have them at weird times. Like, for instance, I think it kicked off in America at the same time I was doing Dragon Ship. So I like watching my pay-per-views after 5 p.m. So I had to wait on that. But yes, I've watched it. You could talk about it in Beer Club chat if you want. Guys, speaking of Beer Club chat, do join the Beer Club. Brother AJ's in the Beer Club there. A lot of guys are now. This is a good group of guys. It's a good group of guys. It's for men only. It's a men's group where we can talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. Okay. A lot of guys don't have an outlet like that. They don't have a good group of men that they can come to with their issues, where they can swap notes with, where you know, they might have a church group or something like that, but most churches are full of blue pill betas. Okay. We've all studied the material. We're all in there leveling up. We're all in there reading books. We're all in there swapping notes, and we're all shooting the shit and having a good time without interference from the whammon. One of the books I highly recommend men read is No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. And in that book, he talks about the importance of men finding and connecting with other like-minded men. This is your opportunity for that. Join the Beer Club. It's only $10 a month. Oh, and our next meetup is going to be the 23rd. The 23rd. We actually get together on video calls and shoot the shit and talk about guy stuff. All right. So now we get into signs that a man is being used mostly for his resources by a former carouseller. And he goes, I've been guilty of many of these. Now, I'll tell you what, guys. This is one of the reasons why I tell men not to lead with their wallets when they're dating. Okay? Keep initial dates low investment. And when I say low investment, I'm talking about drinks only in the evening. Okay? It's not a lot of money to go out to drinks. And if you're going out to fancy fucking artisan fucking bars where the drinks are expensive, find a dive bar. Okay? Find a dive bar with a decent atmosphere that you can take chicks to where the drinks are cheap. All right. If you're taking the chicks to expensive ass fucking, like there's a place called Felonies I like to take Nurse Chick to. It's a speakeasy in Montrose. Great place. Their drinks are expensive as fuck there. If you get all, like, cause they make these artesian fucking mixed drinks and stuff, and they charge like $20 a glass. Don't take a chick to a place like that. Are you fucking kidding me? But I want to make a good impression. No. She's got to make a good impression on you. Okay. You've got to be the buyer, not the seller. All right. But a lot of guys, they lead with their wallet. They take chicks to fancy places like that. They take chicks out to steak dinners for first dates. I was listening to a podcast. I don't know, most of you guys probably don't know who this guy is, but he was a former pro wrestler in WWE. He went by Ryback. And when Ryback left WWE, he started a podcast that used to be called Conversations with the Big Guy. And I used to listen to that podcast when he first started podcasting. And he told this story of how he met this chick on Tinder, and she lived in Florida and he lived in Las Vegas. So he flew her out to Vegas and like put her up in Vegas for an entire week. I'm like, you haven't even met this chick in person. Why are you like, yeah, I know you're a rich fucking pro wrestler, but why are you like, even if you are a rich pro wrestler, why are you lavishing these women with this kind of treatment until they've earned it? So if you guys just follow my advice and keep initial dates, low investment, drinks only, that kind of stuff, until she's built up investment in you, that you're not going to have to deal with these gold diggers, right? And the chicks that are gold diggers that are like, no, you need to take me out on a steak dinner. Just fucking, just unmatch those bitches. Okay. They weed themselves out. Okay. But you're going to avoid a lot of headaches if you do that. You're going to find more women, right? If you test for a woman's interest in you and you test for her ability to follow your lead, you're going to have a much better time on the dating circuit than you will trying to, spend a bunch of money on these gold diggers. Okay. I just did a video yesterday about the whole drizzle thing. That's fucking retarded. First of all, a lot of guys, when they're doing the drizzle thing, like, I know it's a big joke, but really what you guys sound like is a bunch of fucking whining crybabies, you know? Oh, these women, they're delusional, so let's make fun of them and stuff like that. It's like, the women that are delusional that you guys are making fun of, the reason why they're like that, they're not even delusional. There's simps out there that will lavish them with that kind of shit that'll put $25,000 in their fucking Venmo just for being cute. I was on a stream with Sarah Dawn Moore last year, I think sometime maybe, or maybe it was 2 years ago at this point. I can't remember. I was on her first live stream, and these guys were sending her $600 super chats. And one guy kept saying he sent her like 5 $100 super chats, right? But one guy sent her a $600 super chat just for being you, Sarah. These fucking simps are unbelievable, and there's a reason why these chicks act the way they act. It's because guys enable that behavior, right? Women are only as shitty as we let them be. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so let's get back to this here. Signs that a man is being used mostly for his resources by a former carouseller, right? The first one is his behavior is beta. He's always showering her with attention, doing whatever she wants on a whim, being servile and supplicating, but she thinks it's romantic and appears appreciative, at least prior to marriage. To my bias, beta behavior is the number one cause for ending up with a selfish, uncooperative, unsubmissive woman, and what helps make her manipulation of him easier. I agree with that. I agree with that. He's physically unattractive, but she knows he has resources. He's short, skinny, fat, unmuscular, etc., but he makes a good living, especially in the STEM fields. Her asking, "So, what do you do for a living?" is her way of determining if he's someone capable of providing for her. Of course, having good looks and a good job only raises his value, but if he's not all that good looking and she's still interested, it's for his resources. Guys, what do we say to a woman who asks us what we do for a living? Anybody? Anybody in the chat? Woman asks you what you do for a living. What do you ask? Or what do you say? What do you say to that? Someone knows. Someone knows. What's Jahan say here? He says, you have to get to a place where on first date, you ask them, in a long-term relationship, how do you as a woman add value and support to my goals? This is if you both want a traditional LTR with the potential of starting a family. Oh, have you asked that, Jahan? How'd that work out? Yes, Omega knows exactly what you say. If a woman asks you, what do you do for a living? Omega has it right here. I dress up as a bat at night and fight crime. Goddamn right. Batman game, baby. All right. He's early to mid 20s, though he prefers young women who aren't interested in dating him. He rationalizes dating an older woman by assuming she's mature and experienced and therefore should play her role in the relationship much more efficiently than someone younger. But I also think older, desperate women target younger men because they're generally more naive about how women operate and therefore easier to seduce and manipulate than older men. Though older men aren't exempt, of course. So what he's basically saying is basically a cougar going after a 20-year-old guy. If you're in your 20s, if you're a 20-year-old guy and you got a cougar trying to lock you down, she wants you for your resources, is what he's saying here. Oh, man. The next one here is he's Captain Save-A-Ho. He's with her primarily because of some problem he thinks she needs rescuing from. He wants to see himself as the hero who saves her from loneliness or poor living conditions or her fatherless child. He thinks that his noble act will make her more appreciative and committed to him, forgetting the corollaries in Bryfolt's law. You guys all know Bryfolt's law, right? Bryfolt's law is basically the female, not the male, determines all conditions of the relationship, and where a woman doesn't see any benefit, there's no relationship takes place, basically. Yeah. Jahan says, in the right context, most say, wow, I've never been asked that on a date before. So you're basically asking women, what do you bring to the table? Right. Some will go on to say, cook, clean, keep up the house, and support my man. Okay, fair enough. Why would Paul exclude Troy? What are you talking about? Exclude Troy Francis? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see here. The next one. He only has vanilla sex. In keeping with his nice guy personality, when the beta male has sex with a woman, he doesn't fuck her with any sense of dominance. He makes love to her. Maybe such a strategy is appropriate if she recently had a traumatic experience, such as losing a loved one. But if the porn industry and 50 Shades of Grey hysteria is any indication, women prefer dominance and rough sex to lovemaking. This is why Red Pill emphasizes lifting and alpha behavior. Because once a woman has been fucked by enough cocks, especially good ones, her ability to stay with one man long-term is diminished because she judges her current partner, God, I hate that term, by her carousel years. Good cock is like an addictive drug to women. And if her current partner is not giving her the feels that Chad did, she will cheat or leave. This one has a point, right? There's a lot of guys that worry about this sort of thing and about a girl being alpha widowed, right, by previous lovers. But you can be, if you are the best she's ever been with, you can out alpha the previous alphas, right? If you learn how to dick her down good. A book I highly recommend, guys, is Unleash Your Sexual Superpowers by Eric Everhart, former porn star. He's been on the podcast a couple times now. He's even done a lecture for the Beer Club. Good dude, solid good dude. He's written 2 books now. His second book's not out yet. He's waiting on a publisher thing with that one. But one of the things that he talks about in that book is women will overlook all of your bullshit if you're dicking her down right. So he's not wrong. And a lot of guys, they have this misconception, and I think because of Hollywood and stuff like that, that women don't like dominant sex, right? But they do. They fucking love it. They love their hair being pulled. They love their ass being slapped. They love being sort of you taking control of the situation, moving her around where you want to on the bed and taking control. They fucking love that shit. Okay. But a lot of guys think, oh, because the movies love making this fucking sweet, fucking magical, mysterious fucking event, that's what women want. It's like most women don't want that. Most women are watching like really, rough porn. When they're watching porn, they're watching like gangbangs and stuff like that. Like women want the dirty shit. Okay. But most guys are trying to, they think these women are these magical, mystical fucking creatures, and they're not. They're dirty. They're dirty. So that's why I put it out in a meme the other day. I was like, your girl doesn't want you to make love to her. She wants to be fucked. Okay. Fucking give her what she wants, guys. The next one. Oh, let's see here. Oh God. Mr. Chips, I think you got to get out of here. I think you're a troll, brother. Get the fuck out of here. The next one is there's no genuine emotional connection between the two, and she doesn't care. She's not genuinely happy to see him when he comes home from work. She's not particularly upbeat. Not that she's necessarily moody, just indifferent towards him. They don't have shared interests or social interplay, such as cracking witty jokes with each other on the fly or some lighthearted horseplay. The relationship feels so effortful that they need a lot of outside influences, dining out, going to a movie, and other outings to compensate for a boring relationship, as opposed to using those things to complement an already good thing. But she doesn't care about bonding with him because she never wanted anything more from him than his resources, whereas the beta male is stimulated by being subservient to her. Her stimulation comes from eating, sleeping, shopping, and cheating. Guys, if you're going to set the tone in the relationship and take the lead, you have to set the tone and lead in all areas of the relationship, including keeping things spicy, right? It's on you, man. But a lot of guys, once they get into a relationship, they get lazy too. And they stop planning dates. They fucking work. They come home, they drink a beer, they go to bed, and they just do the same thing over and over again. It's fucking boring, right? And you can be anything to a woman, but you can't be boring. So it's on you to be seducing her. It's on you to be planning dates. It's on you to be making the decisions and stuff like that. All right. You can't leave it up to her. Women are passive. And if you let her do it, she's going to do it. She's going to be lazy. She's going to be sit around in front mode. She's going to fucking walk around like people of Walmart in her fucking sweatpants, with a messy bun and glasses on all day, just eating ice cream and shit. Like, no. We're not doing that. You need to be setting the example and going to the gym and keeping things active. If that's the kind of woman you want, you fucking be the example, bro. All right. The next one is he's good father figure emotional support. Resources is not limited to money, food, or shelter. Many single moms want a father figure for their children. For post-wall women, the provision they look for in a beta male is the same provision they enjoy from the men they friend-zoned: attention and validation from a male servant around the house who flatters her like a princess and serves as her emotional tampon. Being post-wall and no longer attractive to Chad, she wants someone to tell her she's still desirable. The servile nature of the beta male makes him qualified to fulfill these roles. She's desperate for a woman. This is the next one. I'm sorry. The next one is he's desperate for a woman. Loneliness and a lack of women willing to date him has been so prevalent in his life that when a pretty woman shows some attention, he's willing to forego the carousel signs just so he can have some companionship. This makes her efforts to exploit him that much easier. So the one before that was basically you're an emotional tampon for her. And then the one after that is you're desperate, right? You don't get any attention from women, so you just take the first woman you can get. What do you guys think about those ones? Those ones seem obvious. It's funny too, because about the he's a good father figure, emotional support. I do think it's important that you listen to your girl, right? You listen to your girl and her problems and stuff like that. But it's okay. I learned this from Dr. Robert Glover. It's okay when a woman's going off about her problems at work and stuff like that, and she's going off on these tangents, because a lot of women can't get to the fucking point, and they're telling you all this side shit. You can say, whoa, honey, whoa, give me the guy's version. You can say that, okay? You can say that, and she might get all mad at you, like, you don't care about me or whatever, and be like, you're cute, right? Don't engage in a fight with her. Just be like, you're adorable. But if you don't want to tell me, that's fine too, right? Indifference makes a difference. But you can train your girl to give you the guy's version of her shit, and you don't have to be her emotional tampon while still being a rock, right? And another thing too is don't solve her problems, right? If she is bringing you her issues and stuff like that, she just wants you to listen and understand what she's going through. She'll be like, oh, that must suck. How does that make you feel? Oh, yeah. Oh, I bet you feel terrible about that, huh? Don't solve her problems. It's not about the nail, right? But Paul, I'm an alpha male. I'm a problem solver. That's what I fucking do. Okay, I solve problems. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want that, bro. You know, and as soon as you realize it's not your problem to solve her problems, you're gonna feel free. It's freedom, man. Just be like, oh, okay. Well, that sucks. Well, let me know if you need anything. I understand what you're going through. It's very tough. The takeaway from this is that being a beta provider is like being friend zoned with benefits. He provides her with resources, emotional support, and she occasionally gives him duty sex in return. But the sex isn't fulfilling for her as it is, or as it was on the carousel, because unless he's decent looking and dominant in the bedroom, she's not sexually attracted to him. Her settling for a beta male means she sees him as a servant rather than a lover or partner. This is why when guys, when I'm on social media and guys are like, "What? I've been married 30 years, bro." I always like ask, sort of tongue in cheek, but I go, "Yeah, how's the sex?" Because just because you haven't gotten divorced doesn't mean that your relationship is a success, man. Okay, if you guys are best friends and you guys only have scheduled sex like once every 2 months or whatever like that, you've been put in the friend zone in your own fucking relationship, bro. Okay, that's not a win. That's not a win. All right. We have a couple of super chats here. Let me get to these, and then there's still a couple of other sections here we could get through here. It might be a little bit of a longer episode. Brother Nathan, $2 super chat or super sticker or whatever. I'm going to give him this one.
I was just going to say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Yes. And then shipmate Larry and I served in the Navy together. He said, $20. Fuck yeah. Thanks, man. He goes, Paul, keep up the good work. Your content helps out. Good. I'm glad you're getting value out of it. Since we're shaming the horse today,
shame this horse.
We're going to shame the horse today with with that one. All right, so the next section is denial. Okay, he goes, I realize this is a sensitive topic for men already in LTRs because it puts a spotlight on their current partner, and if perchance several of the carousel signs checks out for her, they may go through some measure of denial. I want to address this denial now. Keep in mind, this is coming from someone who married and provided for a former carousel rider. There is a segment of men in the manosphere who give carousel riders the benefit of the doubt by believing that even though she rode the carousel, she simply made a mistake in her sexual behavior that she wasn't aware of until she approached the wall. That at some point she came to her senses and realized the jerks and players she was fucking weren't good relationship material, and she was never empowered by giving herself away for free, and now her seeking a good man is evidence of her remorse and repentance. You know who does that? The trad cons, right? The guys from like the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, all those guys. They're like, oh, she found Jesus. We should forgive her sins and all this kind of stuff. It's like, you can forgive her sins, but don't wife her up, man. Like, that's just stupid. That's just fucking ignorant. Okay. But again, like, you will never know what a woman's true history is because she'll never be honest with you about it. And so all you could do is just watch her actions and see how she treats you. Okay. If she treats you like an absolute fucking king, she fucks like a whore. Like Rolo says it really well too, right? Like every guy wants a slut. He just wants her to be his slut, right? If she's your slut, okay, and she's loyal to you and she treats you like a fucking king and stuff like that, what's the problem? I don't advocate wifing up any of these chicks. Not a single one. I don't think getting the government involved in your relationship is a good idea for any man at all. In this, with the current laws the way they are, it's a fucking terrible idea. So it doesn't matter who any of these chicks are. I don't think you should wife up any of them. That's just me, though. The guy says, but assuming she started riding the carousel at, say, 18, isn't it odd that it took her roughly 10 years to come to this realization, which just so happened to coincide after all the jerks and players no longer wanted her? But let us recall the young carouseller's remark in Michael's story when he confronted her about her slutty behavior. If you guys aren't familiar with Michael's story, it's basically, it's a required reading in the sidebar of, I think, the Married Red Pill, but this guy basically he had this revenge porn fantasy that women that spend their 20s riding the cock carousel are going to get their comeuppance in their 30s when their sexual value is diminished and they're not going to be able to find the kind of guy they want and whatever. And what he realizes is that there is no revenge porn fantasy. Women, like, there's always going to be someone to bail these chicks out, and women can have their cake and eat it too. And sorry to break it to you guys. Sorry to break it to you. But he quotes Michael's story. He says, Michael, let me tell you something. Not only am I going to have my cake and eat it too, I'm going to have it with ice cream and sprinkles. There you go. There's always going to be someone to bail these chicks out and forgive these women for their sins. Okay. You don't have to do that, but there's always someone that's going to do that. Okay. You're never going to have your revenge porn fantasy on these women. A woman's carousel years has nothing to do with finding a good man for a long-term commitment and everything to do with hedonism, which feminists have been pushing for decades. And the most telling evidence of this behavior is her lamenting, where have all the good men gone? To ask about these men after she's post-wall suggests they were available in her prime, but she wasn't interested in them at the time. She was far more interested in riding the carousel. You know, a lot of guys get mad at that too, right? They get mad that women go for the top 20% of guys and the bottom 80% of guys are like incels or whatever. It's like, women have preferences, man. Whether they're delusional or not, they have preferences. And a lot of guys get mad at women for having these preferences. The same way women get mad at guys for having preferences of not wanting to date fat chicks, you know? Like, it's okay to have preferences. It's okay. And if you can't get a woman and you're an incel and you would rather just bitch and complain about it instead of figuring out how to get a woman, like, that's on you, man. You know? Anyway, I digress. The man who holds the girl who made a mistake perspective is usually in an LTR and wants to believe that the woman he's with is a good girl, Gina, or good girl Gina. Good girl Gina, is that a thing? The girl he's with is a good girl, Gina, who has a low N count and loves him for his personality. In the face of red pill awareness of the cock carousel, examples here and here, he doesn't want to consider that his partner might have been a deliberate carousel rider who planned her sexual and provider strategy from the start because it would make him the recipient of used up goods. Yeah, really offers a similar perspective, and he provides a link to some other guy's post. The fact that they've been rejecting decent men who gave a damn about them for jerks and players since high school shows these women know exactly what they're doing, and they're even encouraged by feminists. Like, what do you guys expect these women to do, though? You know what I mean? Do you think like a woman wants to be with a fucking ugly beta male guy that doesn't excite her? Why would you guys assume that like, but he's a good man? Yeah, but he doesn't excite her. Don't you think a woman, if you guys really look at hypergamy, what a woman really wants is a guy that excites her, that also provides a little bit of comfort for her. You know what I mean? They want both. They want both alpha fucks and beta bucks in the same guy, if possible. Right? So if a guy only offers beta bucks, why would a chick be excited to settle down with a guy like that? He's not going to fuck her, right? He's going to make love to her and put her on a pedestal and treat her like a fucking queen and shit. Like, women don't want that. So like, why would you get mad at these chicks for having preferences, for wanting to be around an exciting guy? Why don't you, instead of getting mad about that, become an exciting fucking guy? How about that? How about that, Anon? All right. There's one thing I don't like about I don't like about some red pill content is it's just fucking guys commiserating instead of figuring out how they can win. You know, like, what do you want? What the fuck do you want, man? Do you want to just bitch and moan, or do you want to get fucked? Okay. And then finally we have anger. Once the beta male realizes the woman he's providing for had a slutty past, he usually goes through some measure of anger. He's delusioned that she isn't the good girl he expected. And considering his friend zone days with her former desirability, he realizes that he's married to the very woman who would have friend zoned or rejected him in her prime, making him a living example that nice guys finish last. And for many men, there's the additional element of jealousy. It's not so much that she was promiscuous that frustrates him, but that he couldn't enjoy that sort of sex life for himself. For years, he tried to unlock the secret to getting laid like a playboy to no avail, but then comes along his LTR who tells him tales of her wonderful adventures at Disney Cock's theme park, the park to which he was denied employment. From his perspective, her reminiscing about her abundant sex life is like saying, haha, look at all the fun I had. You never could. And then for her to hold back in the bedroom is a slap to the face. She was a slutty for the men she hooked up with, but not for the man who provides for her. But you know how that happens, guys? Having a Madonna whore complex. Because some of these chicks want to be slutty with you, but they don't want to be judged by you. And y'all are too busy fucking judging these chicks to let them be sluts for you. Think about that for a minute. If you want slutty sex in your long-term relationship, you got to let her be a slut and not fucking judge her for it. But y'all have that Madonna whore complex. All right. If for much of your adult life, you could barely get women to look in your direction, and all of a sudden this attractive 30-something is giving you lots of attention, putting forth the effort to be with you, and giving up the pussy without you doing much for her in return, it's a sign she wants you to be her provider, not because she thinks you're hot or loves your personality. The purpose of the carousel signs is to be aware that women who rode the carousel generally don't make good long-term partners because they're self-serving, disrespectful, unappreciative, and they aren't good housekeepers, and they aren't committed. Just like her relationship with friend-zoned men, she will come in wanting the LTR to be all about her like a pampered baby. Man, I'll tell you what though. Yeah, that's a sign. If you're dating a chick and she's just super selfish and she wants everything to be about her, and like she's trying to get you to put her on a pedestal and treat her like a fucking just no. We're not doing that. Fucking drop her, man. There's another bus every 15 minutes. There's always another woman. You don't need these fucking prima donnas out there, right? These sprinkle bitches, right? You don't need those chicks. They weed themselves out if you weed them out, right? You got to weed them out though. For men already in LTRs with older attractive women, one of the greatest tests of red pill maturity is honestly acknowledging that one's wife or girlfriend was likely a slut in her prime. I understand many men new to this information have children and financial constraints preventing them from making an easy exit from the relationship if her sexual history is a deal breaker, but I suggest at least assessing her current behavior to ensure she at least contributes to the relationship in the way that serves you, while also revolving any counterproductive behaviors in yourself that makes her uncooperative in the relationship and unenthusiastic in the bedroom. Yeah, like that's one of the things that I talk about, right? She might have had a very promiscuous past, but how does she treat you? How is your individual relationship with her, right? You can't change the past. You can't. So how does she treat you? Does she treat you like a fucking king? Does she dote on you? Is she your slut? Does she put out regularly, enthusiastically? Then maybe don't fucking worry about it. Okay. It doesn't help you to dwell on that shit. It doesn't. Because the benefit of acknowledging her slutty past because the benefit of acknowledging her slutty past is it minimizes attachment and dependency on your perceived goodness of her for your happiness. This detachment makes it easier to spot deception and manipulation. It reduces beta behavior, and it's easier to not put up with her bullshit and ultimately work towards getting what you want from the relationship because you no longer think the world of her. See, this is why it actually benefits men to stop putting women on pedestals, right? And thinking that they're these mysterious creatures that are difficult to understand and all this stuff. It's like, they're just women, they're just women. They're flawed creatures walking the earth. They make mistakes just like you make mistakes. And as soon as you stop putting these women on a pedestal, you can stop having this fucking delusional fantasy of, wifing up a slutty virgin. All right. That was the article, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys seem to like tuning in for these story time episodes. And they're fun for me. I like doing it. It's easy content. Guys, that's all I got. Please tune into the podcast Wednesday. We are going to do another story time with Paul Bebe episode. This time Wednesday, it's going to be based on an old blog article from Royce, right? One of the original 3 R's of the Manosphere. I'm almost done with Heartiste on Game, and he's got some gems in that book. And so I'm going to share one of them. It's funny though. Like Wednesday's episode is just going to be for fucking fun, right? But it's he did a blog article on how beta orbiters can turn girlfriends into girlfriends, right? So this is for you beta orbiters out there playing sneaky fucker game. We're going to get you that girl. We're going to get you that girl, okay? So tune into that on Wednesday. Guys, do please like, subscribe, hit these notifications. I have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thanks to everybody that sounded off in the live chat. I appreciate it. Thanks for the super chats. That supports the show more than anything else. Guys, do follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list. I'll send you a bunch of free stuff. Again, I got these new girl, I'm a bad boy stickers. I'll mail those to you. I'm not going to show up at your house, so don't worry about that. But if you don't want stickers, just put don't want stickers in the address field. I won't waste a stamp on you. But you guys get 20 dating app openers. They're guaranteed to capture a woman's attention in the first 7 words. And you also get a free chapter of my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. I had a guy reach out to me on Facebook Messenger, and he said, hey, do you have any information on how to talk to girls? Right? Like he goes, because when I go on a date, I have a hard time knowing what to say. Like, I don't know what to say. I was like, I have a whole subchapter on the date, how to act on the date in my book. And I talk about how to carry a conversation with women, right? And the good thing is that if you let women do most of the talking, they'll do all the heavy lifting for you. You actually don't have to be that great of a conversationalist. What you need to do is learn how to listen, be a good listener, and take a genuine interest in what she's saying and ask clarifying questions about her, make statements and assumptions about her, and just keep her talking. It's actually pretty easy. But I talk about that in the book. If you guys are struggling with that, the longest chapter in the book is my dating and spinning plates chapter. And it really takes you soup to nuts on meeting women, going through the dating process, and ending up in an LTR if that's what you want to do. Okay. And then getting started with dating. If you guys need help, do check out my dating course. Again, it's take 50% off for the entire month of May. I'll drop a link to that again in the chat. But yeah, take my dating course and save 50% with code May50 at checkout. If you go to dates.comeonmanpod.com, that'll take you to my Gumroad page. Join the beer club, guys. beer.comeonmanpod.com. The next meetup is on the 23rd. Other than that, we will see you guys on Wednesday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. New full episodes served hot every Monday morning on your favorite podcast platform of choice. So subscribe now. Follow Paul on social media. The links are in the description. Now, go out and get it.